Let me ask you a question. When your alarm goes off tomorrow morning, what is the very first emotion you feel? Is it excitement? Is it peace? Or is it heaviness? For most people, waking up feels like an emergency. Before your feet even touch the floor, you are already losing. You grab your phone immediately. You flood your brain with other people's lives. You fill it with bad news and stress. You aren't starting your day, you are surrendering it. If you feel exhausted before you even brush your teeth, you need to hear the story of Daniel. Because Daniel found the cure, and it didn't cost a single penny. Meet Daniel. He was 35 years old and lived in a bustling city. He had a solid job in finance. He had a nice apartment and paid his bills on time. By all standards, Daniel was winning. But internally, he was bankrupt. Every morning was a battle. His alarm was the enemy. He would lie in bed for 20 minutes. He was just scrolling through social media, looking at vacations he couldn't afford, and success stories that made him feel small. By the time he walked out his front door, his battery was already at 0%. He told himself the great lie we all tell ourselves. I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I get the promotion. I'll be happy when I buy a house. I'll be happy when the weekend comes. But happiness kept moving the goalposts. The crash didn't happen at work. It happened at his kitchen table. His partner, Sarah, looked at him over her coffee. She looked at him not with anger, but with sadness. She said, "Daniel, I love you, but I can't keep waking up next to someone who treats being alive like a punishment." That hit him harder than any failure at work. That night, Daniel stared at his ceiling in the dark. He realized he had become a master at being miserable. He had trained his brain to be negative, just like an athlete trains for a sport. He needed to break the cycle, but he didn't know how. Unable to sleep, Daniel went for a walk at 5:30 a.m. The city was quiet. In the park, he saw an old man on a bench. He was feeding the birds. The man had nothing expensive on him, but he radiated a deep peace. A peace that Daniel, with all his money, couldn't buy. Daniel sat down. "How?" he asked. "How are you this happy in a world this crazy?" The old man laughed softly. "Son, you think happiness is something you find, like a lost set of keys? No, happiness is a skill. It is something you practice." He pulled a beat-up notebook from his pocket. "For 20 years, the old man said, I have had one rule. Before I check the world, I check myself. Before I let the chaos in, I write down 3 specific things I'm grateful for." He looked at Daniel and said something profound. "Your mind is a garden. If you plant weeds, stress, jealousy, anger, that is exactly what will grow." "You have been watering the weeds for years, Daniel. It's time to plant something else." The old man gave Daniel a challenge. The 30-day reset. The rules were simple, but strict. First, no phone in the morning. Do not touch the digital world until you have done the work. Second, before your feet hit the floor, write down 3 specific things you are grateful for. And third, specificity is key. Don't write "my family" or "my health." That's lazy. You have to hunt for the real moments. The way the sun hit the building, the taste of that first sip of cold water, the sound of a friend's laughter. Daniel took the notebook. He felt skeptical, but he was desperate. The first week was hard. His brain fought him. He felt silly writing down small things. "I liked the sandwich I had for lunch." It felt fake. But then, the magic happened around day 12. Daniel was in a stressful meeting. Usually, he would be angry. But suddenly, he noticed something. The light creating a pattern on the wall. He caught himself thinking, "That's beautiful. I'll write that down tomorrow." He realized something powerful. When you have to write down good things, you start hunting for them all day long. He wasn't just changing his morning. He was rewiring his brain to scan the world for the positive instead of the negative. On day 30, Daniel went back to the bench. "I did it," he told the old man. "My job is still stressful. The traffic is still bad. My problems didn't disappear. But I changed. I don't feel heavy anymore." The old man smiled. "You finally realized the truth. You can't control what happens to you, Daniel. You can only control where you point your attention." Daniel didn't stop at 30 days. He kept going. 6 months later, he was a different man. Not because he became a millionaire, but because he became the master of his own mind. Here is the truth for you. You have more than Daniel had. You have opportunities. You have potential, and you are alive. But you are burying it under a mountain of digital noise and automatic negativity. So, tonight, put your phone in the other room. Put a pen and paper next to your bed. Tomorrow morning, reclaim your life. Take 5 minutes to plant the right seeds. Because life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by choice. And that choice starts the moment you open your eyes.